What's up guys, Blake here from guidetovaping.com, and today we're going to be looking at the Smok VCT A-1, or better known as the Vapor Chaser tank. So the VCT A-1 is a sub-ohm clearomizer manufactured by Smok. With so many sub-ohm clearomizers currently on the market, it's kind of getting to the point where, where do they differentiate? What makes this one better than the other, and what makes this one so different? They all offer sub-ohm capabilities, but there's not really any more features that makes them much different, or where you need to put down this one and buy this one. So with that being said, what makes the VCT A-1 so much different? And what I've learned from the Smok VCT is that it's really not anything extravagant. It's nothing godlike. It's nothing beyond any other tank that's out there, except for one thing, and that is the replacement coils. So the replacement coils make this tank. It has the ability to accept multiple variations of coils that Smok themselves has manufactured. Anyways, before I go any further, I want to show you guys what these coils look like and what the tank itself looks like. That being said, let's drop down and take a close-up. Alright, so for starters, I wanted to show you guys the boxing. As you can see, the Smok logo is at the top. Here's the Smok Vapor Chaser tank, and it says VCT A-1 at the bottom. Now we just got to pull the lid off the box. And next you'll see the Vapor Chaser tank, which I already have filled with e-liquid, an extra glass piece, and an extra coil. If you pull up this foam piece that holds everything, you'll see this little cardboard piece. Take it out, and you'll see a card at the bottom, which basically shows you how to prime your coil. And the last thing being a user manual for the Smok VCT. Alright, so now we're going to look at the Smok VCT A-1. Right here you'll see that it says Vapor Chaser. On this side you'll see the Smok logo. You'll also notice that the tank is made of stainless steel. The glass tank portion holds 3.8 mils of e-liquid. You have a wide bore drip tip at the top. There are two O-rings right here that seal the tank, and one that's at the bottom on the base. This is what the tank looks like when a coil is already installed. There's the 510 connection at the bottom of the device. And here you can see the adjustable airflow for the VCT A-1. So basically you have the adjustable airflow here. You have this little knob right there that won't let you open up the airflow any more than that. That's wide open. On the other side, you can see the same thing. So let me show you how you turn it. I'm sorry, I'm upside down. So basically that's the airflow. It's not huge by any means, but it definitely gets the job done. It's a decent airflow. So now that you've seen the tank, let me show you guys the coils. So this is the VCT A-1 coil. You can see at the top that there's threads right inside in the coil. So what I can do is get this and spin it around. See how that works? Going up and going down. And then what this does, when you spin it down, it covers those juice channels. So if you have a higher PG liquid, maybe you want to keep it somewhere around there, or if you have a high VG liquid that's more, that's thicker, you might want to open it all the way up like I have it. This coil right here is the A1, and it's 0.5 ohms. The next coil is a VCT X1. So the X1 is also 0.5 ohms. And you can see how the coil is inside here. It's a big fat daddy coil. The next coil is the VCT X2, which is the same thing on the outside, but on the inside it's a dual coil. The VCT X2 is also rated for 20 to 30 watts. However, it is 0.4 ohms. Now that you've seen the tank and you've seen the coils, I want to show you just how well this device performs. In the name of this small review, and just so you guys can get somewhat of an idea for these coils, because that pretty much is, what makes this tank is the coil options. But in the name of this review, I'm going to go ahead and use each one of these coil types to show you guys how well it produces vapor. So what I already have in here right now is the 0.5 A-1 coil. Now, usually when I do these videos or do these reviews, I always edit a shitload of it. If you've seen my other reviews, you see that I edit a lot of it. And that's because I just want you guys to get the best viewing experience possible. Not to mention I mess up a lot when I talk on the camera. But anyways, I'm not going to edit this part because I want to show you guys just how well these coils perform as far as wicking goes. So let me keep going with it. And by the way, I do have this at 30 watts, just to show you that I'm in the boundaries for the what's recommended for this coil. Okay, and I showed you guys that, so now I want to show you guys the X1 coil. Alright, so now I've got the X1 coil on here, and let's see how well it performs. Again, I have this at 30 watts. And as you can see, the vapor has increased just a little bit. This thing's performing well. Obviously, it's wicking well. Now, out of all of the tanks that I've personally used, I've used the sub tank, I've used the Arctic, just quite a few sub-ohm tanks so far. And out of all of them, the VCT A1 tank has performed the best for me. As long as I stay in that 30 watt mark, it just produces a great amount of vapor, and it also wicks great. I'm talking about really great. You can keep at this thing and keep at it, and it just keeps on wicking that e-liquid. So let's continue with the X1. Even though I feel this coil, I can feel my drip tip heating up, but this thing's still wicking that e-liquid, which is great. Okay, so now let's go to the X2 coil. All right, so now we have the X2 coil. If you guys didn't remember, the A1 is 0.5 ohms and it was a vertical coil. And the X1 is a 0.5 also, but it's a horizontal coil. It's one of those fat daddies. Now we're on the X2, which is rated as 0.4 ohms. It's still rated for the 20 to 30 watt range, and it's a dual horizontal coil. So let's see how well the X2 performs. Let me make sure that I primed it enough. Yeah. So here we go. Make sure I don't get no dry hits at first. So you can see with this, we're getting even more vapor. Out of all the coils all these options, I like this coil the best, the X2. The only thing I have to say about this is that the drip tip gets really hot when you continue to vape and vape, which is, that's on anything. But just saying, it wicks perfect. All these coils, they wick great. But what it comes down to is that these coils, they continue to just feed that e-liquid. With all these holes right here that you have in this coil, it just continues to feed that e-liquid to the coil, and it's working flawless. You can see with this tank, it's really, really easy to fog this office up. And trust me, I can do it. All right, guys, I'm pretty much nicked out with the VCT right now. Thanks for watching the review. If you want to pick this up, you can go to madvapes.com. This is Blake. Peace.